So, Tim Collins, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I grew up in a little town in Kansas, Paola, Kansas. Graduated from high school, went to Ottawa University, and pursued a degree in English, and achieved that, and went out into the world and taught first at Topeka West High School, and now here I am at Seaman.
Yeah. So I asked you to think a little bit about a formative experience in writing. Can you describe that?
Oh, the easiest one for me is the culminating project for my master's.
Okay.
And I received my master's from Fort Hays State in liberal studies with an emphasis in literary studies.
Congrats.
And, oh, thank you. And the culminating project basically asks the student to explore something that they have an interest in. And for my project, I chose the role of landscape in Kansas poetry.
Cool. Yeah. So why don't you describe, how did you choose this moment, first of all, when you've had a long career of reading and
Sure.
writing, and out of all those experiences, why did this one stand out?
I think that my life as a writer prior to the culminating project was basically as a pinball, where I bounced around from creative writing to expository writing, narratives and argumentative, but the culminating project pointed me in a direction that I think best fits my personality, and kind of sent me to explore those things that I have a terrific interest in.
Yeah. How was the writing different for this project than what you had done previously?
Two things. One, the process is a little bit different. As my life as a writer has developed, my writing process has changed, and rather than following a strict process like first draft, second draft, third draft, I now see that the draft kind of exists as a living entity.
Right.
And then the second aspect is the subject matter pointed
Right.
me to writers, like Kansas writers, and being able to study how they wrote made all the difference in the world.
Yeah. Was there anybody in particular during this process that really helped either inspire you or propel your this formational experience along?
Oh, without a doubt, Thomas Fox Averill, who
Okay.
used to be the author in residence at Washburn University. His encouragement, number one, was tremendous. His excitement about Kansas literature he lives, breathes, and he's done so much for the genre in our state and beyond. It makes all the difference in the world. And part of the idea of being a student at that level, and maybe in a lot of ways being a writer, is you want things to live on. And I picked up that passion for Kansas literature.
Yeah. So if I'm hearing you, would you say that being inspired is what helped this become a formational experience?
Oh, there's no question that it allowed me an enthusiasm, borderline enthralling, to be able to read about certain things and make connections on things that I've known about in the past, and to see a direction forward in the genre, number one. And I think that my experience tends to show that an inspiration makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So was this something that in the moment you felt you were being formed, or is it mostly in retrospect that you've realized how much it's changed the way that you've approached writing?
I wouldn't say that in the moment, as the project was ongoing, that it was something that I recognized afterwards, especially with some of the direction provided by the professor. It kind of led me to thinking about, well, I might be interested in writing about this, or I wonder about the connection between this particular Kansas writer and this particular Kansas project. And as a result of that, I recognize, like, this is some direction that I want to move in.
Yeah, good. So moving forward, how do you see this, hopefully, just one last closing statement, how do you see this changing the way you approach writing in your future now that you're done with your grad degree and you're teaching now? Where do you see this kind of manifest?
I think in a couple of different areas. I have a tremendous interest in creative writing pedagogy, and I know that Washburn University is working to create a website that allows Kansas literature to be utilized in that particular genre.
Very cool.
And I have the opportunity to be a part of that and design lesson plans and give seminars
Wow.
to incoming teachers. And it's all inexpensive, so that'll be a benefit. I was able to interview the Kansas poet Stephen Hines, who's a Hutchison poet, and I'm currently working on putting that together. So the direction basically is I'm looking to write informatively about the world around me, particularly the small world of Kansas.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Thank you very much for sharing your story with us. It was very enlightening.
Thank you.
Thanks.